Good evening. Hello and welcome. Welcome back to the Norwegian woods once again. I'm your host of Hawkness from whitewolfalchemy.com. That's the guy. And in this video, I want to talk a little bit about the higher self, the no fluff version. You know, not the love and light version. The version that will make you understand why certain things happen in your life, like what is the language of the higher self, right? So, first of all, as always, I like to tune into that higher self stream of consciousness so you can receive this video from your higher self. It's been a long day. So we tune in to the heart space. You have the third eye, the second eye, you have the first eye right in the heart. When you learn to see with your heart, you will see all things as they truly are. So that is why we go down to the heart, and then we go up. All right? Are you ready? Take a deep breath in through the nose, one for mind. Hold at the top. Nice and easy. One for body in through the nose. Back it in. And one for spirit in through the nose. Back it in. And breathe normally and relaxed in a gentle fashion. You can feel yourself. You can feel yourself coming to center and aligning. You can feel everything slowing down, everything calming. And so you are aligned. You have aligned from within. Aligning from within for that higher self stream of consciousness, your source intelligence, which may not be my source intelligence, as there are many sources in the infinite multiverse of ours. In the many infinite multiverses, who knows how vast it is, truly. But we know that there's more than one universe. We know that there's more than one source when we tap into that. And we have experienced people, channeling different intelligence from source. And so, all depending on their filters, most importantly, their filters, their belief systems, their definitions and labels will saturate their channel message, their channeling, their source intelligence. And so, as you know, belief produces experience. I've said that many times. So, the higher self is tough love. Tough, tough love. The higher self is tough love. And what I mean with tough love is higher self will give you a disease to have you learn a valuable life lesson. Higher self will put you in a car accident to stop the trajectory of your life. It will break your foot, it will break your arm. All right. Higher self will smack you around. Cosmic bitch slaps galore so that you will get your shit together. That is the higher self's job. So you can the higher self is of course you. It's your source intelligence. It's your true self. It is the soul self. All right. But you're stuck here in an avatar with um, fucked up filter and lots of patterns and programs installed, like like a computer gone haywire. And so you're the tech guy sitting there trying to fix this computer that's completely fucked up, doing its own thing, printing out 600 copies of some bullshit on the printer, the screen dancing all over the place. This is but some of the issues that the higher self runs into with your human consciousness running this avatar. So higher self will smack you up and make you act right. Yeah, no joke. No joke. The higher self will do what it needs to do in order to smack you awake. The higher self does not play around. The higher self does not play around. And also it will speak to. It speaks, through all kind of mystical experiences. It speaks to you through natural means, birds, um, someone talking, um, and you happen to hear this conversation is exactly what you needed to hear, right? Something will pop up on the TV, a radio, a radio channel will play your songs, to get your attention. And as you stopped your car to listen to the song, all of a sudden you see there's a car crash up ahead, right? And if you hadn't listened to your soul and stopped the car at that moment and listened to your song on the radio, you would have been in that car crash. It would have been you in the hospital, right? And sometimes when we don't listen to our soul, we don't listen to the higher self, we're the ones being driven off in that ambulance, or um, getting some kind of valuable and sometimes catastrophic lesson. Higher self does not play around. So, what can you do? What can you do? You have to align. And higher self does not come and establish a connection with you necessarily. This saying, feeling like you've been deserted by God, especially in the dark night of the soul. The higher self and this feeling of being guided in divinity, it will not return by itself. Maybe you were there at some point in your life, at some point in time before your dark night of the soul. But after the dark night of the soul and through the dark night of the soul, you have to, go in search of that higher self connection. And if I had not had my mentor Mel Brand to assist me with that, going to reestablish that connection with higher self, I would have stayed unconscious for a lot longer. And I'm infinitely grateful to my many mentors for assisting me in the perfect time, always divine timing. So, you are your higher self. You are the divine self. You are that which you are. You are that. I am that I am. But we have this buffer. We have this mental buffer. And if this fucking computer is full of viruses, belief systems, toxic patterns and programs, templates, if it's full of crap, we need to use the defragmentation, right? Like you do with a computer. You have to defragment. Sometimes you have to completely reboot, right? And so you'll have a mental breakdown. Higher self will give you a mental breakdown. Absolutely. You know, a higher self does not play around. I cannot stress that enough. So, higher self will give you a mental breakdown, a mental health crisis, in order for you to um, sort out your mind. So you have to walk through true insanity in order to get to true sanity. You have to. Otherwise, you're stuck in the collective psychosis known as popular culture. So, in order to get to true sanity, you have to walk through true insanity. It's no other way. So, higher self will lead you into that, lead you into those paths, lead you to those places, and then you kind of have to find your way out. Find your way out back again. Higher self might give you a little flashlight in the valley of darkness, but you have to make your way through the dark night of the soul back to the light. And in order to get back to the light, you have to meditate. In order to establish a connection with the higher self, you have to meditate. There's no way out of that. You can't pray your way to that. So I see twin flames and graduate souls praying, and they're not listening to higher self, and they're eating like crap and drinking like crap and doing what the fuck they want to without listening to the higher self, and they end up in the hospital, sick all the time. Because higher self does not play around. I cannot stress that enough. I'm going to say that line a few times throughout this video. Higher self does not fuck around. Higher self does not play. Higher self is tough love. So, I see people having really, 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 really challenging unions, and they're not in union with their higher self. And so the circumstances in their life expresses that. It expresses the lack of communication, the lack of communion and union with higher self. You have to establish that connection, and you have to cultivate it. You have to go in search of the higher self, because the higher self will not come and sit by you. It wants you to come find it. Then, once you have established that connection and you have that mystical experience and synchronicity and alignment, and you upkeep it, you know where to go look for it, you know where to find it, you know how to tune in, you know how to slow down, you know how to recognize the communication from higher self in your external experience. And then in your dream time, in your internal experience, the astral and the reality merges. The gap is closed. And so the nighttime dream and the daytime dream, this dream that I'm talking to you in now, this is also a dream. When this dream and the nighttime dream have merged and the gap is closed, you're in constant dreaming, constant communication with the higher self. And so then it's harder for you to lose that connection. But I'm sure if I fuck around and find out, I can lose that connection to higher self easily. If I started drinking again, if I started doing drugs again, for example, if I started fucking around, I would find out. If I started cheating on my wife, if I started, gambling our money, if I started doing unconscious shit, then higher self would most likely speak to me in ways that I would understand by stripping me of um, the good things in my life. And so it does. It does. It will communicate with you in the ways that you understand. Always. It will communicate with you in a language that you understand through your definitions, through your understanding, through your belief systems and perception of reality every time. And I have a little story of that. When I was in the hospital, I had tried to kill myself, and I told this story many times, but maybe a new audience or not heard it before. Anyways, I love telling it because it's one of the most beautiful examples of how the universe has a great fucking sense of humor. And it's ruthless, tough love. It's gonna cosmic bitch slap. All right. So I came out of the hospital. I just slit my wrists and emptied all my blood in a bucket and passed out on the couch and was sent to the ER in an emergency for intravenous. All right. IV, hooked to the IV, and I woke up. And I spent a few days in the hospital. When my dad came to pick me up, I opened the door to his car, and on the radio came the song by Queen, Who Wants to Live Forever? And I just bursted out crying, laughing, crying and laughing. And I knew, oh my God, higher self does not play around. The universe is fucking out to get me. that was like my belief system at the time. I felt bullied by the universe because it was tough love. Like, aren't you gonna get your shit together yet, Ulf? Like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you, man? What's your major fucking malfunction, bro? what's what's your major malfunction, soldier? And I was like, okay, well, might as well get to love this bullying. And so I experienced synchronicities with a lot of songs. I experienced a lot of lyrics speaking to me. And I decided I was going to play those songs just to get used to it, just to grow some thick skin. And, my higher self was just like, well, you're starting to understand. Most people would have, turned off those songs, not played those lyrics that was speaking to them directly almost. This song is about me. Fuck. I can resonate too much with this. What's going on? So I would play them over and over and over again. Over and over and over. On my walks, walking my dog, just kind of bullying myself a little with this music to mature myself, to spiritually mature myself. And it did. I grew thicker skin. I became more um, accustomed to the way that the universe speaks to us. I became more accustomed to the synchronicity, to the mystical communication from higher self. And so eventually this was, a regular occurrence. It was a regular thing. Seventh son of the seventh son. Yeah, man. Iron Maiden. Oh, and I was once on this boat with my friend Christian. He passed a few years ago, but he was, very fond of wine and good smokes, holy smoke. So we were out on his boat, and he played Dio in the Temple of the King, and it was the year of the fox, in the year of the fox. In the Temple of the King. I was just like, oh my God. Yeah. The Temple of the King, it's the Kundalini. Kundalini, you have the crown completely lit, fired up. Um, so, higher self will not play around. It will speak to you in order for you to get your shit together, for you to listen, for you to delete all those programs that are not beneficial to your operation system, to your OS, right? We're talking computer speak here because that's the best way that we can understand the relationship between us and higher self. So, all these greats, all these artists, musicians of the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, they were all having spiritual awakenings. Chris Cornell, Chester Dio, Lane Staley, Kurt Cobain, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix. Name one and you got one. That's all I can say. So all of these people, they're basically speaking directly to us because they were having the same experience. So I'm sad to hear that, Casey. I had a feeling. I will write you privately because um, I will not get private and personal in these videos. So don't write too much personal stuff because these stay on here, Casey. These chats. I'll speak to you later. So higher self does not fuck around. It will take you to the places it needs to for you to stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. It's not working out. It's not. It's not working out. It's not in your favor. It's not where you're meant to go. It's not what you're meant to do. And higher self will put a roadblock in your life for you to stop. Then you need to stop what you're doing, gather up all your resources, all your loved ones, and, take notes. Begin taking notes. Start a journal, a dream journal for one, so that you can record your dreams, what's going on in your dream time. And then you need to, write out your feelings, have a diary, a notebook, something to get some of what is going on down on paper and out of your body. All right. and figure it out. Put the puzzle pieces together. You're not listening. You're not listening. Maybe sometimes also you're overdoing it. I know some of you are. You got a lot of religious belief systems in there. Many, many, many of you. And religion will not lead you down uh, um, healthy road, spiritually speaking. There's so much fear in religion, fear-based stuff, and it will not lead you to sovereignty, to autonomy. It will lead you to a fear-based place, which will increase the fear of the mystical experience that you're having. It will increase the fear of the communication that you're receiving from your higher self in the universe. It will increase the fear based belief systems and make you make panic moves. It will make you do things that you'll regret. It'll make you weaker than you need to be and than you should be on this path. So, do not open religious texts unless you've removed that filter altogether and you're coming at it from higher self kind of perspective, cosmic consciousness, looking at planetary consciousness, going, I see the symbolism that they were using here. It's not literal. Nothing in the Bible is literal. It's all symbolic of alchemy. So, and it was written thousands of years ago with a planetary consciousness. That's important to understand. There's no cosmic consciousness in the Bible. It was not written by God. It was written by human beings and then rewritten time and time and time again to fit an agenda of imprisonment, spiritual imprisonment. Beautiful, Casey. Oh, I'm glad you did that. So, you have to keep your family close. You have to keep your family close. Your family and your loved ones. At that point in time, when you're going through the dark night of the soul and higher self is being strict with you and showing you tough love, you have to keep your loved ones and your family close. There are very few people that you can trust in the same way that you can trust your family. And do not venture off into the world on your own when you're in this vulnerable place. Um, you need good people around you, good people that love and care for you. You need good nutrition, and you need exercise, and you need lots of water. You need positivity. You need groundedness, and preferably a spiritual mentor that can, help you make healthy, sound, grounded decisions. So none of these love and light fluff ball spiritual mentors that'll this is light language. This is not light language. This is whew. So no, that's not what you need. You need people that speak plain, no fluff, no rainbows and unicorns, none of that bullshit. You need just plain, non-vague, direct communication. So take good care of your endocrine system. Hormone balancing is of vital importance at this stage. Hormonal balance. Cannot stress that enough. Higher self does not play. Higher self does not fuck around. It just don't. It'll take you to hell and back again if it has to. And I'm talking about a personal, private hell, not the actual fire and brimstone version kind of stuff. We're already there. Earth is hell, and we can experience our own private and personal hells here in the form of our mind, in the form of our perception of reality and our circumstances. Yes, but we have the power to change our stars, to rewrite our destiny. You are co creator. Remember that. So, in the end, it'll be totally worth it for sure, Jimmy. In the end, it's always worth it. In the end, if you survive what higher self puts you through, it is totally worth it. You will look back on that time as wow, you know, I was divinely guided through the worst time of my life. But where you are you listening? That's the most important part. Are you listening? If you experience a roadblock, put on the brakes in your whole life. Get in contact with yourself, get in touch with yourself. Slow it down. Slow it down. What's going on? What's going on in my body? What's going on in my mind? What's going on in my life? What's going on right now? Mastery of the energy. That's what you need right now. Mastery of the energy. Mastery of the communication. Mastery of the signs. Mastery of the song of the universe. The universe is singing your song. Are you listening? You know? So you need to go sit and listen to the birds. Go sit and listen to the river. And don't do anything stupid. Don't make any rash, life altering decisions at this point in time. Do not, sell your house and give all your money to charity. That kind of stuff. This is not the time for rash decisions. Do not make any life altering decisions during this transition in your life. Mm-mm. This is the time to slow down, take it easy, eat healthy, exercise, and get your alignment back. Get back into balance. Get back into control. Get back into control, my friends. Take some deep breaths with me. Good. Have a check-in every now and then throughout your day. Check in with higher self. Check in with your heart center. Check in with your body and your nervous system, your vagus, your parasympathetic, all of that stuff. Tune in with it. Slow it down. Calm, cool, and collected does it at this point in time. Yeah. Higher self does not play around. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Higher self does not play around. Once I was walking down the wrong path in life, higher self broke my leg. That's the divine speaking to you and through you. It broke my leg. I had to twisted it actually, and how you say bruised the bone. Um, didn't completely break. I've never broken a bone actually, um, but it twisted it. So there I was, laying on the ground with my limbs up in the air and tremendous pain, and I had to get home. Um, and I had to roll on top of my board for a long distance. Um, and another time, I twisted my arm. I should have probably gone to the hospital, but I broke it back in place and I still have a little bit of some stuff sticking out. But I never liked the hospitals, so um, probably for a good reason. But higher self does not play around. It will do these things in order to talk to you, in order to communicate, um, to get you to get your shit together. Hopefully nobody else get hurt in the process. Hopefully you don't get too hurt in the process. But higher self will hurt you, man. Higher self will hurt you to get your attention. But then higher self will also walk you through it. You can always, trust that if you go in search of higher self, you will find it. You will find the higher self. And then the higher self will once again be connected and aligned. And you'll have that guidance and support system and alignment, and you'll make better decisions from higher self. Um, you'll begin to make higher self decisions in your human avatar. You're going to be like, no, I'm not getting in that car with that drunk driver, my friend. Or I'm not gonna run across that road right now down the street because they drive like assholes here. And so you wait until the car's passed and then you cross the street. Whereas, before you were guided by a higher self, you would have just been in the middle of that road and the car would have come and boink. Because you're stubborn. The human nature is so stubborn. We want it our way or the highway. We're so stubborn. We don't listen. So clean your ears out, and okay, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? And it's most often the things you do not want to do. So if you don't like working out, chances are you should be working out. You know, speaking from experience, you're this guy. Or if you're, if you don't want to go to rehab, then you probably should go to rehab. You know, that type of deal. Also speaking from experience, this guy. So, and if you don't want to, get up early in the morning, that's probably what you should be doing. Or if you don't want to, whatever that is, it's probably what you should be doing. Talk to higher self about it. Should I be? Because if you go in search of the higher self, you will find it. If you ask the higher self, you will get answers. And it's better to establish that communication with the higher self rather than to get cosmic bitch slap because because he didn't answer, like I didn't ask, didn't communicate, didn't go meditate. So yeah, you'll be in less you'll be in less pain if you go in search of the higher self. You'll feel connected again. You won't feel left behind by God, by Source. You won't feel abandoned in the darkness. Because you see, if we go into the darkness willingly, we will find the light. That's why we close our eyes to meditate. And then your light increases because all of that light that's pouring out of your eyes while you're awake, it gets circulated back into your system. All of that light. Because energy flows where attention goes. So all your energy is constantly being projected onto the holographic reality. And so when you close your eyes and meditate, all that light goes back to you. So the darkness actually gave birth to the light. The Bible lied to you. The darkness gave birth to the light. So can you trust it? Can you go into that? Into the void, into the cosmic womb. Right? Into the void. So you're right there, breathing deep, just sitting with whatever arises. Any feeling, any thought, and you become the observer, just observing it. Remember, this is just your avatar. You are not this body. You are not this mind. You are the consciousness observing this body, observing this mind. So you become the observer once again. And from there, you can get a little bit detached from the human self, the avatar, and go in search of our cosmic consciousness, our higher self-intelligence. Yeah. So I want you to take good care of yourselves. Mind, body, and spirit. You are the custodian of creation. Remember that. Custodian of creation. What does that mean? It means that you need to be the caretaker of this place. Of this place, too. You're being the caretaker of everybody you love and everything you love. Taking good care of things. Being the custodian of creation. Wow. That's a neat gig. What does that even mean? Custodian of creation. Wow, that's big. So that's what we are as twin flames, as graduate beings, as volunteer starseeds, as Lightwarriors, custodians of creation, man. Wow. So that means that we need to take care of the Holy Trinity, mind, body, and spirit. That's your designated part of creation internally. Then you have externally, right? Around you. So you're a good custodian. Be the heart of the place where you're at. Take good care of the people and things around you. Plants, people, animals. Most importantly, yourself. Otherwise, you're not a good custodian of creation. Please, please take good care of yourselves so that you can keep being the custodian of creation. But for that, for that gig to be ongoing and good, you need that higher self stream of consciousness. Otherwise, that gig will be a shit fest, and it will be too rough for any soul. But valuable life lessons are not always, served in a easy digestible way. Sometimes valuable life lessons are hard to pay and costly, and try to listen before it may cost you your life. And because then you're no longer a custodian of creation, then you're back in source, creator, intelligence, God, the universe, the source, the light. Anywho, I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your participation in our community. It's a little bit more one-on-one here on YouTube than it is on the Facebook page, but I need those hours watched in order to get the monetization and get it opened up, and so we can do some webinars and some interesting things here in the times to come. So stay tuned. We're gonna go level up. Yeah. So take good care of yourself in the meantime. Adaptogenic herbs for hormonal balance. That's what you need. Meditation, exercise, lots of water. Go find a favorite tree and ground and try to take a break from all the spiritual fluff and the new age things and the Bible or whatever it is. Bring it all back here. Bring it all back here to the goodness, and don't flip out too much on the spiritual stuff online. It can drive anyone crazy. Take good care of yourself. Peace.